Ready? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu liyasta'zinkum alladhina malakat aymanukum walladhina lam yablughul hulma minkum thalatha marrat min qibla salatil fajr wa hina tada'u ha? min qabli salatil fajr وحين تضع ثيابكم من الظهيرة ومن بعد صلاة العشاء ثلاث عورات لكم ليس عليكم ولا عليهم جناح بعدهن توافون عليكم بعضكم على بعض كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات والله عليم حكيم. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says, "O you believe that those whom your right hand possesses and those who have not yet reached puberty amongst you ask permission of you at 3 times before the dawn prayer, when you put aside your clothing at noon, and after the night prayer, after Isha. These are 3 times of privacy for you. There is no blame upon you, nor upon them beyond these times, for they move about among you, some of you among others." So like this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes clear to you the verses, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is knowing and wise. وَإِذَا بَلَغَ الْأَطْفَالُ مِنْكُمْ حُلْمَ فَلْيَسْتَأْذِنُوا كَمَا اسْتَأْذَنَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ آيَاتِهِ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ حَكِيمٌ. And when the children among you reach puberty, let them ask permission of those before, as those before them have done. والقواعد من النساء اللاتي لا يرجون نكاحا فليس عليهن جناح أو أن يضعن ثيابهن غير متبرجات بزينة وأن يستعففن خير لهم والله سميع عليم. And women for childbearing who have no desire for marriage, there is no blame upon them for putting aside the outer garments without displaying adornment, but to modestly refrain is better for them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hearing and knowing. هذه الآية الكريمة اشتملت على الاستئذان الأقارب لبعضهم على بعض، وما تقدم في أول السورة فهو الاستئذان أجانب بعضهم على بعض. These verses include the rulings of relatives seeking permission from one another, and what was mentioned earlier in the beginning of the surah concerns strangers seeking permission from one another, right? That if someone comes to your door, and this is now for your relatives. فأمر الله تعالى المؤمنين أن يستأذنوا قدمهم مما ملكت أيمانهم وأطفالهم الذين لم يبلغوا الحلم منهم في 3 أحوال. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded the believers that their servants and those whom their right hands possess and their children who have not reached puberty must seek permission at 3 times. الأول قبل صلاة الغداة لأن الناس إذ ذاك يكونون نياما في فرشهم وحين تدعون ثيابكم من الظاهرة أي في وقت القيلولة. The first is that before the Fajr prayer, because at that time people are asleep in their beds, and when you put aside your clothing at midday, meaning at the time of siesta, Qailula, right? At midday rest. So what are you doing? You are taking off, you are removing your clothing. لأن الإنسان قد تضع ثيابه في تلك الحال مع أهله, because a person may remove his clothing in that state with his family. ومن بعد صلاة العشاء لأنه وقت النوم, and after the Isha prayer, because now it is the time of sleep. فيؤمر الحرم والأطفال أي لا يهجموا على أهل البيت في هذه الأحوال. So in this, like this, the servants and children are instructed not to suddenly enter upon the household during these times. Meaning that other times everybody is free and roaming around and doing whatever, so children will come in and out, the servants will come in and out and whatever. So then it is fine. If it is that anything happens in that time, then you are this overlooked for them, right? But after these times or at these specific times, a person these people should ask for permission to enter. ما يخشى من أن يكون رجل على أهله أو نحو ذلك من الأعمال. Because it is feared that a man may be with his wife or engage in similar private matters at these times, right? ولهذا قال وثلاث عورات لكم ليس عليكم ولا عليهم جناح بعدهن. And for this reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and there are 3 times of privacy for you. There is no sin upon you, nor upon them beyond these. أي إذا دخلوا في حال غير هذه الأحوال فلا جناح عليكم في تمكينكم إياه. If they enter at times other than these 3 situations, there is no blame upon you for allowing them. ولا عليهم إن رأوا شيئا في غير تلك الأحوال. No upon them if they see something outside of those specific times. لأنهم طوافون عليكم أي في الخدمة وغير ذلك. Because they move about amongst you in service and other matters. Right. ولهذا روى أهل السنن أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال في الهرة إنها ليست بنجسة إنها من الطوافين عليكم أو طوافات. For this reason, the scholars of the Sunnah narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about the cat, it is not impure, it is among those who frequently move around you. عن ابن عباس أن رجلين سأله عن الاستئذان في 3 أورات التي أمر الله بها في القرآن. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu reported that 2 men asked about seeking permission during the 3 times of privacy which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded in the Quran. فقال Ibn Abbas said, إن الله كثير تحب السترة. Ibn Abbas said, indeed Allah is concealing and loves concealment. كان الناس ليس لهم سطور على أبوابهم ولا حجال في بيوتهم. People did not have curtains over their doors, no partitions in their homes at this time. فربما فجاء الرجل خادمه أو ولده أو يتيمه في حجره وهو على أهله. So a man might unexpectedly come upon his servant or child, no? Right? A child or an orphan in his room while he was with his wife. Unexpectedly, these people would just be in his room or appear in his room while he is with his wife. This is why they have given this restricted time so that in these times, husband and wife should. فأمرهم الله أن يستأذنوا في تلك الأورات التي سمى الله. So Allah commanded them to seek permission during these times of privacy that He named. ثم جاء الله بعد بالسطور فبسط الله عليهم الرزق فاتخذوا السطور واتخذوا الحجاب. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided covering, expanded their provisions, and they took curtains and petitions. فرأى الناس أن ذلك قد كفاهم من الاستئذان الذي أمروا به. So people thought that this was sufficient in place of the seeking permission that they had been commanded. أمروا به. وقال سد كان أناس من الصحابة يحبون أن يواقعوا نساءهم في هذه الساعات ليغتسلوا ثم يخرجوا إلى الصلاة. As-Suddi said, some of the companions like to be with their wives during those hours so they could bath and then go out to perform salah. So be with their wives, right? Intimate. فأمرهم الله أن يأمروا المملوكين والغلمان أن لا يدخلوا عليهم في تلك الساعات إلا بإذنه. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them to instruct their servants and young boys not to enter upon them at those times except with permission. وقال قاتل بن حيان بلغنا والله أعلم أن رجلا من الأنصار وامرأته أسماء بنت مرثد صنعا للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم طعاما فجعل الناس يدخلون بغير إذن. Muqatil ibn Hayyan said, it reached us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, that a man from the Ansar and his wife Asma binti Marsad prepared food for the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So people began entering without permission. فقالت Asma. So Asma said, Ya Rasulullah, ma akbaha hadha. How inappropriate is this? إنه لا يدخل على امرأة وزوجها وهما في ثوب واحد وغلامهما بغير إذن. A servant may enter upon a woman and her husband while they are under one garment, right? وهما في ثوب واحد, meaning they covered with one thing, right? And they enter without permission. فأنزل الله في ذلك يا أيها الذين آمنوا ليستأذنكم الذين ملكت أيمانكم إلى آخرها. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this verse, that those who your right hand possess, they should seek permission from you, right? ومما يدل على أنه محكمة لم تنسخ قوله وكذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات والله عليم حكيم. Among the proofs that this ruling is firm and not abrogated is he's saying, thus Allah makes clear the verses to you, and Allah is all knowing and all wise. ثم قال تعالى وإذا بلغ الأطفال منكم الحلم فليستأذنوا كما استأذن الذين من قبلهم. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and when the children amongst you reach puberty, let them seek permission as those before them sought permission. يعني إذا بلغت الأطفال الذين كانوا يستأذنوا في أورات ثلاث الحلم وجب عليهم أن يستأذنوا على كل حال. Meaning when those children who only sought permission during the 3 times reach puberty, right? Remember what I said before, your servants, your children that hasn't reached puberty, right? So they say now, what this means that those children who had to seek permission in these 3 times only, once they have reached puberty, it becomes obligatory upon them to seek permission at all times. Alright? So you should teach our children from young already. They should knock on the door. They should ask permission to enter. Okay? Just because something is not compulsory for them to do doesn't mean it's not good for them to do. Alright? And just because something is permissible for you to do doesn't mean that it's good for you to do. قال أوزاعي إذا كان الغلام رباعيا فإنه يستأذن في أورات 3 على أبويه. Auza'i said when a boy reaches 4 years of age, he seeks permission during the 3 times of privacy from his parents. Right? فإذا بلغ الحلم فليستأذن على كل حال. When he reaches puberty, he must seek permission at all times. فقال في قوله كما استأذن الذين من قبلهم يعني كما استأذن الكبار من ولد الرجل وأقاربه. Regarding the statement as those before them sought permission, it means as the older children and relatives of a man seek permission. وقوله والقواعد من النساء من اللاتي انقطع عنهن الحيض ويئسن من الولد. An elderly woman amongst women refers to those who no longer menstruate and have the spirit of childbirth. They don't have this desire for children anymore. While allati la yarjuna nikahan ay lam yabqa lahunna raghbatan fi zawaj, who do not have hope for marriage, meaning they no longer have desires for marriage. فليس عليهن جناح أن يضعن ثيابهن غير متبرجات بزينة. There's no sin upon them to lay aside their outer garments without displaying adornment. أي ليس عليهن في تستر مثل ما على غيرهن من النساء. The requirement of full covering is not like that upon other women. قال ابن مسعود أي يضعن ثيابهن الجلباب أو الرداء. To lay aside the garments refers to the jilbab or outer cloak. وقال أبو صالح تضع الجلباب وتقوم بين يدي الرجل في الدرع والخمار. Abu Salih said she may remove the outer cloak and stand before a man wearing her long dress and head covering. قال سعيد بن جبير في قوله So she must wear this, even though she doesn't have the desire of getting married anymore, right? Or she's not menstruating anymore. They say now it's a bit different for what she can display, right? Even if she takes out her jilbab, what she was wearing over her, the clothing what they generally wear outside, she must still wear a full dress, covered, right? The aura must still be covered. And from this, you see that his opinion is that, so he's saying that the head is part of the aura. So he say that she can take off their clothes, but her body must be covered as well as her head must be covered. All right. You know they're fighting that when you're outside, a woman when she goes and leaves the house, her head must be covered. This is part of her aura, right? Because society has made it such that other parts of your aura are more than your head or etc. So we also take it as though it is fine to cover those parts that the world considers as more private. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam say that the hair of a woman is aura. So that should be part of her covering also. Right? So your daughters from young you should make them cover their heads when they leave their house. Right? قال سعيد بن جبير في قوله غير متبرجات بزينة أي لا يتبرجن بوضع الجلباب ليرى ما عليهن من الزينة. Sa'id ibn Jubayr said, without displaying their adornment means that they should not remove the outer garment in a way that reveals their beauty, right? Their shape and etc. أم الضياء قالت دخلت على عائشة رضي الله عنها فقلت يا أم المؤمنين ما تقولين في القضاب والنفاض والصباغ والكرتين والخلخال والخاتم خاتم الذهب والثياب الرقاق. Diya said, I entered upon Aisha radiallahu ta'ala and asked her, O mother of the believers, what do you say about like henna, cosmetics, dyeing, earrings, anklet, bracelet things, gold rings, and fine garments, right? Faqalat, she said, Ya ma'sharan nisa, قصدتكن كلها واحدة أحل الله لكن الزينة غير متبرجات. She said, oh woman, right? Your ruling is only one. Allah has made adornment lawful for you, so long as you do not display it openly. Right? Everything that we have mentioned is permissible for you to do, permissible for you to wear. However, it is not meant to be displayed publicly. Right? So, أي لا يحل لكن أن يرى منكن إلا لمحرم. Meaning it is not permissible for it to be seen except by a mahram. Right? Our women wear rings and things, isn't it? Or bracelets. Huh? Or they wear makeup. Hmm? Lots also. They wear makeup also. Isn't it? So makeup, all of these things is for what? Makeup is not to protect your skin, it's to protect no. It's to adorn yourself or enhance beauty or be more attractive. So we are going out in this manner which makes it haram. Right? Even if a woman says that she's not wearing it to adorn herself or wearing it to publicly show her beauty. She's wearing it because, what would they say? Because I feel better. I feel more confident. Right? This isn't a place now for niyat. Isn't it? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbid something, no matter what your niyat is to doing, it will be wrong. Right? The only instance when it comes to our medication, etc., which is a necessity. Right? Then there will be some leeway. But in a place where there isn't a necessity, right, then there's no leeway for what your niyat is. وقوله أن يستعففن خير لهن أي ترك وضع ثيابهن وإن كان جائز خير وأفضل لهن. And the statement, but to remain modest is better for you, means refraining from removing the outer garment even though it is permissible. What we said before, Even if something is permissible, doesn't mean it is good for you to do or the best thing for you to do. It is better and more virtuous for them. Right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all hearing and all knowing. Next ayah. Carry on tomorrow, inshallah. Subhanallah.